Welcome to my patio. One of the things I like best about this patio is coming out here to drink my coffee in the morning. But when I get up and I start to look around, I'm met with a view of the neighbor's house across the street. Now, there's nothing wrong with that house, but it would be nice just to look at some greenery. Now, this is an RV pad. It was here when we moved in well over 30 years ago. Maybe, I think it's more like 36 years now. Anyway, I would love to have it jackhammered up, but that is not happening. So I am going to be purchasing and planting some things to try and cover up the view of the neighbor's house. As some of you may know, I've decided to go with a Mexican garden theme on my patio and on this RV pad. But before I get to the plants that I'm going to be using to block out the view of the neighbor's house and hopefully block out the view of our own tent trailer, I'm going to be planting up some bougainvillea. Now, I do love bougainvillea, and I used to have it planted in front of my house. However, the rats discovered it, and it was a path to my attic, which was not good because we had a few critters living up there, and it took us a while to get rid of them, but we did. So I will never ever plant bougainvillea up against the house again. Actually, I should say I will never plant another vine type plant up against the house. I also used to have a wisteria covering our patio cover, and I was out there one morning drinking my coffee, and lo and behold, I saw a little rat in the morning crawl across my patio and up that vine on top of the patio. So I didn't waste any time. I was still in my pajamas. I grabbed my hedger and I cut the darn thing down. So, lesson learned, do not plant growing things up against long vining growing things up against your property or on your patio cover, at least not for me in my area. All right, let's talk a little bit about this plant. It is the Bougainvillea, and it is the Barbara Karst variety. And it will bloom late fall through spring, and it is a very fast grower. However, you can get this to bloom year-round under the right conditions or if you are in a tropical setting. Now, I am in zone 10A, and we are considered a Mediterranean climate. This is a drought-tolerant plant that needs excellent drainage. In fact, bougainvilleas will produce more blooms if the plant is left on the dry side. And the soil that I used for planting my bougainvilleas is a cactus, palm, and citrus mix because that is considered well draining. Bougainvillea is considered to be a great plant for planting in containers, and if you're planting it in the ground, you need to space it 6 to 9 feet apart. And these plants can grow from 20 to 30 feet tall, and they like full sun, and they will not tolerate the shade. Maybe a little bit of shade, but mostly full sun all day long. Now I did put a starter fertilizer in the bottom of, or in this pot, and I mixed it up with the soil. And the time to fertilize these plants are in spring and summer, and you want to use a general purpose fertilizer and use that at half strength. Now I'm going to show you a close-up look of the flowers here. Actually, they're not really flowers, but I'll show you that in a second. Okay, the reddish colored part here is not actually the flower. It is called a bract, and inside the bract is actually the flower, and you can see that here with those little white tips. It's on a small stem with white tips, and the bract, it kind of feels like tissue paper. So that is not actually the flower. The flower is that white part that was inside. You may have noticed that I was wearing gloves when I was planting this bougainvillea, and that is because there are thorns on the stem. Now, this is a relatively young plant, so they aren't that sharp, but the older plants have very sharp thorns. Bougainvillea grows well in zones 9 through 11, and they are hardy down to 30 degrees Fahrenheit, and they need to be protected from frost or a freeze. Now, before I start talking about this next plant, make sure you stay to the end of the video so I can show you my latest purchase for this area, and it is not a plant. Okay, the plant I am talking about here is the purple hopseed bush, and the scientific name for this plant is, Dodanea viscosa purpurea. Anyway, the purple hopseed bush are the 3 plants that I have located behind those tall wooden planters in the background. Now, this is another fast-growing, drought-tolerant plant, and it will make a great hedge or screen for blocking out unwanted views. And unfortunately, I lost my video footage showing me planting these into their containers. Now, these plants like full sun, and you should water when the top 3 inches of the soil is dry. And I also used the cactus, palm, and citrus soil mix when I planted them, and I did use a starter fertilizer. Fertilizing these plants is recommended in the springtime, early spring. Now, the leaves on these plants are a bronze color. However, in the fall, the leaves will turn purple, pretty much the same color that I turn into when I visit family in Minnesota during the wintertime. All right, now they can be trimmed, the purple hopseed can be trimmed into a hedge or trained as an espalier. But for my plants, I'm just going to let them grow as tall and as wide as they would like. And this plant can reach 12 feet tall and can grow 6 to 8 feet wide. During the summertime, the purple hopseed bush will grow small green flowers, and they appear in midsummer. And after that, some papery seed capsules will appear. Now, what I'm showing you, I'm not sure if these are the paper seed capsules or not, since I'm not real familiar with this plant, but I probably will learn more as the growing season progresses. All right, what I have here, I purchased an indoor-outdoor area rug, and there's kind of a debate between my husband and I exactly where we should put it, so we'll put it in both places to see what we like best. Now, I'm not going to be laying it outside in this video because parts of my patio are still wet from the rain, and so is the RV pad. So we can try it in both places and see what we like, but I originally purchased this to lay down on the RV pad to kind of anchor in the space and to add color, because on my patio I have a lot of color with my talavera like pots and the colored shelves, and I thought this would really make that other area pop. Okay, so enough of that. So here is the rug. You'll probably get a better idea of what it looks like once I, lay it outside. So I'll probably have to pick this camera up so you can see this a little bit better. Maybe I'll lay it out on my living room floor and you can check it out there. So hold on and let me completely roll it out for you. All right, I have the rug unrolled mostly. There's a spot here where it's unrolled, but this will give you an idea of the color on the rug, and I really like the color. I think it's really pretty. And I think that will add a lot of color outdoors. Now let me show you the back of it. This was called an indoor-outdoor rug. Here is the back. Oh, okay, here it is. Outdoor Casablanca collection. And what else does it say? 100% polypropylene, made in Turkey. Doesn't say the size. Meter, 640 by 320 if you're in 2 meters. I can't remember what the size is. I think it was a 10 by 7, maybe. Yeah, I think this was a 10 by 7. But yes, I like it. And don't worry, I will show you when I finally get it laid out. I might lay it out in one part today so I can at least show you that, where it would look like, where I have the Bougainvillea planted and the hopseed bush, where those planters are. because this is a pretty good size. I'm pretty sure it won't work on my patio because it's so big. But I prefer it where the Bougainvillea is and the Hopseed bushes are. Okay, let's see what I do here. Right now everything is still wet from the rain and it is a wee bit windy out. It's still pretty windy outside, so don't worry. In my next video you'll see where I decide to place that rug, either here or under the patio. That is it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and check back with me next week to see what I'm up to. Bye.